Morning everyone. Oh, look at my hair, I'm having a bad hair day. Hi everyone. So let's just set this up here. All fun and games today. Right, that's doing that on there. I'm just going to try and log into Facebook on my iPad. Can't remember my password now. Hi, morning everybody. So this morning I wanted to do a YouTube live just to capture other people and just to give it a go because I've seen other people do it and it looks really fun. So I've set it all up, I was really good, I researched it all, thought yeah I can do this, pushed live this morning and I don't have enough followers to do it from my phone. So I've learnt something this morning, which is the good thing. So yeah, I just need more YouTube followers. So as soon as my YouTube followers hit 1,000, I will do a YouTube live to celebrate. But until then, we've got lovely Facebook, and thank goodness for Facebook. So sorry so much for the confusion. It's not raining, thank goodness. It means we'll be able to leave the house today, just to go for a little walk around the village. I think we all need it. The girls feel a bit on edge this morning. I feel a bit on edge. The husband is super busy at work. I've got work later today, so I think we're just going to leave the house today for a walk around the village, some fresh air in our lungs, and just reconnect. So, hope you're all okay. Thank you to everyone who joined me last night. It was lovely to spend some time with you. Gorgeous were those papers, obsessed with them. So today I've got another card for you. I made this last night afterwards thinking, oh, I'll be all prepared for tomorrow morning. So that's good. So I've been really prepared, which is great. So we'll get crafting. I'm just going to put the comments on my iPad so I can see them a bit better. That's better. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch my camera around so you can see my desk, and then we'll make a start. So bear with me. I haven't even got a cup of tea. What's going on? Okay, right, you can see my desk. Hooray. Lovely clean grid paper, well, sort of clean. It's got a little splodge on it, but hey ho. So now this is the card that we're going to make. So I followed on from last night using the art gallery stamp set, which I really, really like. And it's one of those ones, I think the more you play with it, the easier it gets, and the more things kind of come alive. I think that's right with most things that we craft with. To start with, think, oh, I've got no idea what to do with that. But once we start inking up those stamps and having a little play, it just comes all together, doesn't it? So this is the card I've got for you this morning, and it's a colour that I would say ranks in my worst 5 colours with Stampin' Up. Poppy Parade. I don't like it. It's too in your face, but actually I really like it on this card. So I think with the right card, I love it. But it isn't my go-to colour at all. So I've got a few pieces of card and DSP here, and so I've got a basic standard C6 card base, cut from Poppy Parade cardstock. It might actually be only the second time I've used this colour, since the poppies came out last year. And I've got a piece of the DSP. This is on the back of the Fine Art Floral DSP. So we used one of these last night. And layered it up with some of that gorgeous acetate, and I'm using the reverse side today, which is a really delicate just background paper, and I think it's really pretty. It's in Petal Pink, which is a lovely colour, and I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White. So the DSP measures 9.5 centimetres by 13.9, and I've just added on a piece of Whisper White behind it, and that's 3mm bigger. So it would be 9.7 centimetres. No, sorry, 9.8 centimetres by 13.7. Oh, my brain. This is going to be interesting. So I'm just going to layer this onto our card. Nice simple layering this morning. I do think these papers, there is something for everyone. When I first opened them, I thought, wow, they're really bright, and I just kind of put them to one side and thought, I need to think about how to use those, but I've really enjoyed using them. And I think as soon as you cut them, it breaks it down to a smaller area, so I can cope with small areas. So now we have a spare piece of Whisper White, and we'll do some stamping. Now I've used the kind of spray image, I'm going to call that. I'm going to stamp it in 2 different colours. I'm just going to grab a Mossy Meadow ink pad because I popped that away this morning. I was very good. I kind of semi-tidied up last night. Okay, so Mossy Meadow, and we're going to need our stamp scrub as well, because we're going to need to clean our stamps between inking. So for those of you that haven't seen a stamp scrub before, it looks like this. So it's a little folder, and it's got some little scrubby pieces inside. These come out so you can clean it. I cleaned it yesterday. Still a little bit damp actually. So one side, the idea is you wet one side, and the other side you keep dry to dry your stamps off. Okay, this is really good because it doesn't leave any fibres on your stamps, and the spray that you use to add to your stamp scrub cleanses your stamps as well, so it really looks after them. So if you haven't got one of these, I would thoroughly recommend it. I've had mine for 7.5 years, and it's pretty good tact. So let's do some stamping. So I have this lovely spray image, and I'm going to stamp with the green to start us off. Okay, so I'm just using Mossy Meadow, and put that out the way. Because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I would always recommend using a stamp mat underneath. Okay. And I must say this stamp does look lovely with any colour that you use. Look how pretty that is. Really, really nice. So let's just clean that off. Smells lovely, the stamp cleaner as well. Lovely, look how clean that is. Love it. And now we're going to stamp in Flirty Flamingo. And actually we only really want the flower heads in Flirty Flamingo. So let's just add that down here. So give that a stamp a little clean again. Love it. I love it when it's nice and clean. And then we now want Poppy Parade. Morning to you, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Sorry for the confusion this morning. And then now we just want to stamp those lovely little berries over that side. Well, I'm sure they're not berries, but I'm going to refer to them as berries this morning. Okay. So we need to keep our Poppy Parade stamp here. And then I have this one. Now on the image, the stamp set image, it's this one here. So what we're going to do, and I'm just going to bring my camera in a little bit for you so you can see this. We're going to add some definition to those petals. So if you can see them here, we've got this extra colour. You can do this with the same colour, or you can do it with a different colour. And all you do is you just add it to the stamp, and it picks up that lovely texture. So this one fits on all 3 of those flower heads. So pretty, isn't it? Really like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut that out. So I've got the dies here that go with it. Just lift that up. going to use the little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss this morning, which is great for things like this. So I'm going to just trim around this. Oh, that piece would have fitted in actually. I'm still getting used to using this. So plates, we need the bottom one, and number 1, and then here. So we're going to line our die up like so. Oops. I'm going to pop on a little bit of washi to hold that in place. Michelle said it's night here in Adelaide. Lovely. We are early morning here. Well, I say early, it's not really early, it's nearly 10 AM. The children are hopefully doing their, well, one of them will be doing their schoolwork. She has a Teams meeting at 9:30 that she has to join. Let's move slightly. Okay. So hopefully she's inside on the Teams with the rest of her class. Okay, so we're just turning that through. So then now this just pops out like so. So you have that lovely die cut piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that up so that we can layer our different colours around it. Oh, my bin has fallen on the floor. Layer up the flower heads. Sorry for the camera shaking. So we have that piece. Don't worry about that because we're going to cut it off. And then the last one we're going to cut out is just these berries here. Like so. I can hear my tummy rumbling now because I haven't had breakfast or even a cup of tea yet. I'm trying not to make the desk shake so much, which is why I'm turning the handle quite strangely. Okay, so let's just pop that over there out of the way. And now we can layer up our lovely image. So for this one we are going to cut off the stems and the berries. To layer back onto. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Michelle's put, my sister is homeschooling in the UK. It must be hard. Do you know what? The schools have been brilliant. I can't fault my daughter's school. They've thought of everything. What is tough is having another one here. So my youngest, who doesn't need to do homeschool because she's not school age yet. But she doesn't understand that Florence isn't watching YouTube on her pad. She is actually doing schoolwork. So we let Emily have her iPad at the same time as Florence, but Emily wants to be on YouTube, so it's just a mindset, and in the grand scheme of things it doesn't matter. But I don't know about anyone else, when their children have had screen time for an extended period, they become monsters. My children are fairly well-rounded, and usually they have their iPads for a certain amount of time before kind of COVID, and we'd set a timer so that they knew when they had to give their iPads back, and we never really had any kind of pushback on that. They were quite happy to give their pads back, But now, because we don't know how long it's going to take Florence to do her schoolwork, it's so hard to get that iPad back off Emily, my youngest, because I haven't told her you can have it until such and such time, or you can have it until the timer goes. And when she's that little bit younger, she just doesn't understand that Florence isn't doing it because she wants to, she's doing it because she has to. Okay, so sorry for my rant, guys. It's good to get that off my chest though. So there we have our now multicoloured flower spray. So all I've done is I've layered everything over each other, and we've now got that separate colouring on the flower heads, the berries and the leaf. Okay, so let me know what you think of that. It's always nice to have some feedback. I'm just going to push all those little bits to one side. Oops, got the washi tape stuck to my finger. But yeah, I take my hat off to teachers out there, because I message the teacher with questions, she comes right back to me, she's on it, and I can't imagine how difficult that must be. And I've got so much respect for teachers, and they do seem to be getting a lot of bad press, and I think that is such a shame, because I don't think anyone should really have bad press when this is going on. We've never done this before, we've never been in this position, and there's no rule book. We're all feeling it, whether you're homeschooling, you're working from home, you can't see children, you can't see family, you can't see friends, you can't do all those things that would normally make you, you know, happy and content and sane and everything that goes with that. So do you know what? Just do what makes you happy. As long as you're not hurting anyone else and you're sticking to the rules, I can't see it mattering. We'll all look back on this in years to come, hopefully, and think, oh, do you remember that time when we were stuck indoors? Okay, so now I've just cut out, this is from the Flowering Flourishes set of dies, which goes with the Forever Greenery suite. So Forever Fern, and all I've done is I've cut that out, because if you pop that on the card, so this is the card front. If we pop that on, it looks a little bit lost, I think. So I wanted to just lift it slightly. So I'm going to add it to my card with a little foam pad. And I'm going to use some mini ones as well, just at the bottom here. Let's pop that on there, like so. I'm going to bring it in a little bit, because on my original card they hang over the edge a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down. You can tell what sort of mood I was in last night. I was just cutting things up. Let's cut that one off there, and then we've got that larger spray. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to tuck these bits in and around. Like so. Just to kind of lift that a little bit. I'm going to pop that on with some liquid glue. And I'm going to leave them kind of fairly free to give it a little bit more texture and dimension. So I'm just adding glue to kind of one or two pieces. Like so. So that's starting to now look like a card, and we're going to do some heat embossing, because heat embossing is my favourite, as you all know. So I have a stamp here. It says, "It's your day, enjoy it," and this comes from the Happiest of birthday stamp set. So it's this one just here. I love this stamp set. It's probably one of my favourite stamps in the catalogue. And I'm just going to see if it will fit on here. It will fit. Will fit down there. So first of all, we're going to stamp it on our card, but we're only really going to stamp the lower part, the enjoy it. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my memento stamp to that. We're going to pop that on roughly about there. Okay. Don't worry, we won't see that because we're going to cover it up in a second. So now we need a little Versamark and an embossing buddy. So I always remove the static from my paper with this. We don't unfortunately sell them anymore. I'm not quite sure why. But you could use a tumble dryer sheet if you have one, or you can pick them up just by doing an online search. Okay, so stamp your image down with Versamark. Versamark is a sticky ink pad. So now, this is just white embossing powder. It picks up that embossing, and because you've used that embossing buddy, the powder will only stick to the ink, the Versamark. So you get a nice clean image. I'm just going to put my heat tool on because I didn't plug it in this morning. I always take it out every evening if I've used it. It's the one thing I don't like to leave switched on out here because I'm at the bottom of the garden. Okay, so now we're just going to heat this with our heat tool. So at the moment it looks quite dull. So we're just going to heat that until it turns nice and glossy. There we go, so that's just changing now. Lovely, so that's all set. So I'll just show you. That's now gone really nice and glossy. If you run your finger over it, it's raised and it's nice and set. So we could have added that to that, and it does look lovely, but I've gone for a bit of a different look. So all I'm doing is I'm fussy cutting around the edge of, the outline of the words. There is a really lovely die cut phrase that goes with this stamp set, but it overwhelmed this card, so that's why I went for something a bit smaller. Okay, nearly there. I always find the trickiest bit the end, and not cutting things off. Okay, so there we have It's Your Day, which we can now just lay over there. I'm just going to cut this little bit out here, a bit more. That's better. Okay, It's Your Day. So now all we do is we pop a little bit of Tombow dots and and then layer it on. So because we've got the bottom part of that stamp there showing, we know exactly where to put our piece over the top. Okay. So lastly, I did have some white baker's twine. This comes from the Snailed It suite. You get 2 reels. It's a combo pack, so you get 2 reels. One is pink and one is white, and I'm really glad we've got white baker's twine back. So I've just tied a little bow and then using a glue dot to add this, we're going to pop that just at the bottom of that flower like that. And then I have added a couple of little rhinestones. These are the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. So they come in 4 colours. So 5 colours. You've got Night of Navy, Pool Party, I believe that's Garden Green, could be shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler, and then I think that's Mango Melody. But I'm going to use the red ones for this. So just take them off. You can take them off with your fingers. I do like to use this little tool. Okay, so that is our card front now all finished. All we have now is a piece for in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my stamp back in, and using Petal Pink, I just want those flower heads, which I'm going to pop at the bottom like so. And then as before, we've got our little stamp, our little detail stamp that we're just going to add in each flower like so. Okay, we can pop that inside our card. Bring our card back in and just pop that in the centre. Okay, so there we have our finished card for this morning. Just to recap, I've used the Art Gallery stamp set, and I've used this little spray image down the bottom. It's all one stamp, so I've actually stamped it 3 times in 3 different colours. Die cut them out and then layered them all together to get that multicoloured image there. This oh, that's moved. This die is one of the Forever Flourishing dies from the Forever Greenery set, and I've cut it down. I'm going to move that little gem because he's now hiding. Cut it down and layered it behind. We've got a little bit of heat embossing at the bottom, and then inside we've got some more lovely stamping of that image. So that's me done for this morning. Nice quick one for a Thursday. I haven't even got my watch on. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration. I'm so sorry about the confusion to start with. I don't have enough YouTube followers to do a YouTube live, so I will change that and I'll be live on Facebook each Thursday going forward. So another date for your diary. I hope you can make it. If you have any questions about the products or techniques I've used today, feel free to let me know, and I will look forward to seeing you all, if you can make it, on Sunday night at 8:30 here on Facebook. Have a good few days, everyone. Take care. Bye.